You ever notice how everybody's always talking about freedom like it's the family pet? We love our freedom. We do anything for our freedom. We keep it clean, walk it twice a day, and feed it patriotic slogans. It's funny, the louder people shout about freedom, the more you start to wonder if they're trying to convince themselves it's still alive. Because let's be honest, freedom these days isn't what it used to be. It's not that big, bold, wild thing it once was. It's been domesticated, tamed, put in a box, wrapped and slapped with a barcode. Freedom's not free, folks. It's on sale this weekend only at your nearest mall. Bring your wallet and a positive attitude, because liberty ain't cheap. See, somewhere along the line, someone realized you could make money off the idea of freedom. You can't sell sunsets or oxygen, but you can sure sell the feeling of being free. So they did what they always do, they turned it into a brand. Now, freedom's got a logo, a marketing team, and a jingle. Buy this truck, it's freedom on 4 wheels. Drink this beer, taste the freedom. Wear this deodorant, smell like a free man. It's incredible. They managed to take an abstract human ideal and turn it into a shopping experience. Who needs philosophy when you've got a coupon? You know what freedom used to mean. It meant you could think for yourself. You could disagree, question, be left alone. Now it means you get to choose between 23 brands of toothpaste that all do the exact same thing. That's not freedom, that's confusion with a price tag. They call it consumer choice, like it's some sacred power, but it's not choice, it's illusion. You get to pick between different labels owned by the same 3 companies, all pretending to care about your individuality while cashing the same check. It's like being told you can sit anywhere you want on the bus, but the bus is still going to the same place. And don't get me wrong, people love it. They eat it up. They strut around with their "I'm free" coffee mugs and "Born to be free" t-shirts, all made in factories halfway across the world. Nothing says independence like buying mass-produced merchandise to prove it. The whole system's brilliant. They convinced people that shopping is an act of patriotism. Support freedom, buy more stuff. It's the only revolution where the front line is the checkout counter. Even politics got in on the sale. You've got 2 big brands, red flavor and blue flavor, both promising to deliver the same product. Freedom trademark. One says they'll give you traditional freedom. The other says they'll give you modern freedom. But somehow it always comes in the same packaging. They argue about the price, not the product. And while the people are busy fighting over who sells the better version, the factory in the back keeps printing the same old model. The illusion of choice, that's the best marketing campaign of all time. Freedom's also got a great return policy. If you don't use it responsibly, they take it back. Try to use too much of it, or the wrong kind of it, and suddenly you're on some kind of list. You can say what you want as long as it's on the approved topics. We've reached a point where you can express yourself freely, but not too freely. The leash got shorter, but they painted it red, white, and blue, so no one complains. You can even finance your freedom now. Don't have the cash, no problem. 0% interest for 6 months of liberty. You can't afford to own your house, but you can rent the illusion of autonomy. We've got freedom on credit. Just make the minimum payment every month and keep watching the commercials. The economy depends on it, because freedom isn't measured in rights anymore, it's measured in receipts. The thing about selling freedom is that it works because people want to believe it's real. They want to feel powerful, important, in control. So they buy the symbols, the flag decals, the bumper stickers, the slogans, thinking they're investing in something sacred. But those things don't make you free, they just make you busy. Busy chasing after the next product that promises to make you feel whole. It's a hamster wheel made of advertisements. You run fast, feel accomplished, and end up right where you started, just more tired and slightly poorer. And the marketing is relentless. Every ad tells you you're not free enough yet. You need this car, this phone, this lifestyle. They sell insecurity disguised as empowerment because a content person doesn't spend money, but a restless one does. So they keep you restless, always reaching, always buying, always trying to fill that invisible hole that used to be called purpose. They replaced it with personal brand. It's genius and depressing at the same time. You ever walk into a big store and realize there's nothing you actually need, but you still walk out with a bag? That's not shopping. That's a ritual. You're not buying things, you're buying reassurance that you exist. You tap your card, and for a moment you feel powerful, like you've participated in society. That's the modern freedom handshake. Beep, approved. You don't need to be free when the scanner tells you you belong. It's not just products, even time got commercialized. Everyone's hustling, grinding, multitasking, chasing success, because freedom's been redefined as productivity. You're not free unless you're constantly doing something. Sit still for too long and people start to worry about you. You're wasting your potential. No, I'm sitting quietly. That's what freedom used to look like. But now you've got to earn rest, earn silence, earn a moment to yourself. And when you finally get one, you check your phone. Freedom interrupted, and you know what's really wild. People will defend this system like it's holy. Try to tell them they've been sold a watered-down version of liberty, and they'll get angry. What do you mean it's not real freedom? I got Wi-Fi, 4 streaming subscriptions, and a rewards card. That's how deep the marketing goes. They've tied people's self-worth to the stuff they own and called it freedom. The genius part is that it's voluntary. Nobody forced anyone to sign up. They just made it sound too good to resist. So here we are, living in the land of optional independence. Freedom's not about what you can do, it's about what you can afford to do. They say you can be anything you want. Sure, as long as it fits in your budget. The world's full of invisible price tags, and everyone's pretending they don't see them. It's like we're all at a never-ending clearance sale, elbowing each other for the last box labeled authentic living. But every once in a while you meet someone who doesn't buy into it. Someone who doesn't chase trends, doesn't need a shiny badge to feel alive. Those people, they scare advertisers because they can't be sold. And that's when you realize something. The real freedom isn't loud. It doesn't come with fireworks or slogans. It's quiet. It's the moment you stop needing permission to be yourself. Because freedom, real freedom, doesn't come from a brand, a ballot, or a bargain bin. It comes from awareness, from seeing the game for what it is and deciding not to play every round. It's not free, and it's not for sale. It's earned in small, honest choices every day when nobody's watching. And maybe that's the big cosmic joke, that the thing everyone's trying to buy is the one thing you can't sell. You ever notice how people love to brag about how much choice they have? It's a free country. You can do whatever you want. Yeah, right, as long as whatever you want fits neatly between the rules, regulations, and the fine print on the back of a receipt. Everybody walks around thinking they're in charge, that they're calling the shots. But most of the time, it's like we're all extras in a movie we didn't audition for. The script's already written, the ending's already decided, and we're just here pretending we have a say. That's the illusion of choice, the grand magic trick of modern civilization. They've done such a good job selling it that most folks don't even realize it's an illusion. You feel like you're making decisions all day long. Do I get the regular fries or the curly ones? Should I vote for the guy who smiles too much or the one who lies with more confidence? Should I buy this phone or the slightly shinier version that costs more but still breaks in 2 years? That's what passes for freedom of choice now, picking the flavor of the same old thing. And you feel proud of it, too. You walk out of the store like, I did my research, I made a smart decision. Yeah, You compared the same soup in two different cans and picked the one with a prettier label. Congratulations, you're a free thinker. See, they figured out that you don't have to take away people's freedom if you can keep them busy choosing. Keep them flipping between channels, comparing prices, arguing about the toppings on their pizza, and they'll never notice who's running the kitchen. The trick isn't control, it's distraction. They don't need to hide the truth. They just need to bury it under a mountain of entertainment, opinions, and special offers. Give people a remote control, a vote every 4 years, and 1,000 streaming options, and they'll feel like kings. Kings with short attention spans and expired coupons, and that's what makes the illusion so powerful it feels real. You get the thrill of deciding things without any of the consequences. It's like a video game where you can change the outfit on your character, but not the story you're trapped in. You're given buttons to press, menus to scroll through, and slogans to repeat. Every voice counts. Sure it does, as long as it doesn't get too loud. Every choice matters. Of course it does, as long as it's one of the two choices we gave you. The whole system runs on that illusion. Politics, advertising, entertainment, it's all designed to make you feel involved while keeping you comfortable. You get to choose your favorite team, your favorite news channel, your favorite flavor of outrage. You don't pick the menu, just the meal. The cooks in the back, the folks with the real power, they don't argue about flavors. They own the restaurant. Meanwhile, we're out front fighting over who got the bigger slice. And people get passionate about these fake choices. They'll argue, yell, even lose friends over them. Two folks sitting at the same table, drinking the same coffee, convinced they live in completely different realities. One says, "My guy's gonna fix everything." The other says, "No, my guy's gonna fix everything." Neither one's noticed the leak in the ceiling. That's the beauty of the illusion. It keeps everyone so busy defending their side that they forget to look up. Even entertainment works the same way. You think you're escaping reality, but you're really just choosing your flavor of distraction. Sitcom or drama, reality show or talent show, it doesn't matter, they all come with commercials. And the commercials are the real show. That's where the magic happens. They whisper you're in control, while showing you exactly what to buy, how to feel, and what kind of person you should pretend to be. You get to pick your distractions from a catalog. That's not freedom, that's a menu for the mind. And oh, the language they use to keep it all running. Have it your way. You're the boss because you deserve it. They know exactly what to say to keep the audience clapping. It's flattery disguised as empowerment. They tell you you're special while selling you the same thing they sold everyone else. They don't care what you choose, as long as you keep choosing, because choosing means spending. And spending means silence. As long as you're swiping that card, nobody's asking any dangerous questions like, who made this system? Or why do I feel exhausted all the time even though I'm doing everything right? It's the same illusion that's been around forever, just with better lighting. You can trace it back to when people started confusing participation with power. You're told you're part of something big, something democratic, something free. You're told your opinion matters. But most of the time, your opinion's been prepackaged, marketed, and sold to you before you even knew you had it. You think you came up with your own point of view, but really, you just downloaded it with the morning headlines. It's like mental fast food, quick, easy, and leaves you just as hungry an hour later. The illusion works so well because it makes you feel responsible for everything while changing nothing. You think, if I just make better choices, things will get better. So you recycle your bottles, buy organic kale, vote, sign petitions, and feel morally accomplished while the big machine keeps humming right along, powered by your good intentions. You're not part of the problem, but you're not changing the program either. You're just tuning in to a different channel. And when someone does notice the trick, When they start pointing out that maybe we're all playing in a rigged game, everyone looks at them like they're crazy. Oh, come on, don't be so negative. You're free. You just have to work harder, smile more, believe in the system. It's funny how people defend the cage because it's got comfortable furniture. They'll tell you, hey, at least we have options. Yeah, like choosing between a red cage and a blue cage. Both come with Wi-Fi and stress. And here's the kicker, the illusion of control keeps us polite. If people actually believed how little say they have, they might start asking serious questions. So, the system gives you little wins, small victories that make you feel like you're in charge. You get to change your ringtone, rearrange your apps, update your status, look at you, a master of your domain. Meanwhile, the big levers, the ones that move money and laws and lives, those are behind the curtain. But don't look there, that's too complicated. Stick to picking your wallpaper, that's where the real democracy happens. And yet, we love it. We love the illusion because it's comforting. It's easier to believe you're steering the ship than to admit you're just a passenger on a cruise that never changes course. Nobody wants to feel powerless. So we cling to our little rituals of choice, our voting stickers, our shopping bags, our carefully worded opinions. They make us feel alive, involved, purposeful. The illusion works because it offers dignity in exchange for obedience. So what's the way out? Maybe it's as simple as admitting the trick. Maybe freedom doesn't mean having 1,000 choices. Maybe it means recognizing when none of them matter. Real choice starts when you stop letting other people tell you what the menu is. It's when you stop arguing over which brand of cage looks better and start asking why there's a cage at all. Because the truth is, the illusion of choice doesn't take your power away, it just convinces you to stop using it. You ever notice how laughter is the one thing they can't tax? Not yet, anyway. It's the last real free currency left, and George Carlin, man, he spent a lifetime investing in it. He knew something most folks don't, that humor isn't just entertainment. It's resistance with a smile. It's rebellion wrapped in a punchline. It's truth wearing a clown nose, sneaking past the guards of your ego. Carlin turned laughter into a weapon of awareness, but he never swung it to hurt. He used it to wake people up, to shake the dust off their thinking. He wasn't telling jokes to make you comfortable. He was telling them to make you uncomfortable in all the right ways. Carlin had this uncanny gift. He could say the things everyone was thinking, but no one had the nerve to say out loud. And he'd do it with such charm, such rhythm. You'd find yourself laughing before you even realized he just dismantled an entire cultural lie in 12 syllables. He could make you laugh at your own hypocrisy, and you'd thank him for it. That's the power of real comedy. It's truth delivery wrapped in laughter, a spoonful of humor to make the medicine of reality go down easier. People think comedy's about telling jokes, but Carlin knew it was about telling truths that make people squirm. Anyone can tell a joke. It takes guts to hold up a mirror, and Carlin's mirror wasn't flattering, it was honest. It showed us our greed, our contradictions, our obsession with comfort, and somehow he made it hilarious. He'd say something like, "The reason they call it the American dream is because you have to be asleep to believe it." And half the room would laugh while the other half nodded in quiet panic. That's not just comedy, that's philosophy with better timing. What made him special wasn't that he was angry at the world, it's that he cared about it enough to make fun of it. He wasn't cynical, he was disappointed. There's a big difference. A cynic doesn't care, but Carlin cared too much. He wanted people to think for themselves, to stop swallowing nonsense just because it came with a flag or a logo. He used laughter like a crowbar, prying open the locked boxes in people's minds. And once he got inside, he rearranged the furniture a bit. See, laughter disarms people. You can't argue while you're laughing. You can't cling to your illusions when your gut's hurting from the punchline. It sneaks past your defenses. That's why the truth lands so deep when it comes through humor you're too busy chuckling to build a wall against it. Carlin understood that better than anyone. He wasn't lecturing, he was performing surgery with a smile. He could cut into hypocrisy so cleanly that by the time you felt it, the operation was already over. And he did it without preaching. That's what made his style so timeless. He didn't climb up on a moral soapbox, he just walked onto a stage, looked at the world and said, "What's wrong with this picture?" Then he'd twist it just enough for you to see how absurd it all was. The man could make a grocery store receipt sound like a political statement. He'd pick apart everyday life words, rules, habits, and reveal how ridiculous we've made the human experience. He didn't need a revolution, he had a punchline. But make no mistake, behind the laughter was courage. You have to be brave to tell uncomfortable truths, especially when everyone's clapping for comfort. Carlin didn't just tell jokes about language, government, or religion because they were easy targets. He did it because those were the systems shaping people's minds. He wasn't attacking people, he was attacking the nonsense that controls them. He was saying, hey, maybe think twice before believing everything you're told. And that's about the most dangerous, most beautiful thing a comedian can say. People like to say, oh, Carlin was fearless. But he wasn't fearless, he was honest. There's a difference. Fearless means you don't feel fear. Honest means you feel it and speak anyway. That's harder, and that's what made him authentic. He never hid behind politeness or pretended to be neutral. He knew that pretending everything's fine is the fastest way to lose your soul. So he called it like he saw it, not to offend, but to awaken. Because laughter without awareness is just noise, but laughter with truth behind it, that's a spark. And let's not forget, he was funny as hell. That's the part that made it work. He could drop a heavy truth like a hammer, and before it crushed your mood, he'd spin it into something hilarious. You'd leave the show feeling lighter, not because the problems disappeared, but because he helped you see them clearly. He made chaos feel manageable. He made confusion funny. He gave people permission to laugh at the things that scared them. That's the kind of freedom you can't buy in stores. Carlin understood that laughter and freedom are connected. You can't laugh if you're afraid. You can't laugh if you're pretending. Real laughter only happens when truth gets a chance to breathe. That's why humor is dangerous to people who thrive on control. You can censor books, ban words, and control the news, but you can't stop someone from laughing at how ridiculous it all is. Laughter breaks the spell. It's the sound of the mind realizing it's free. He used to say, I think it's the duty of the comedian to find out where the line is drawn and cross it deliberately. He wasn't wrong. Comedy's supposed to go where polite conversation can't. It's supposed to shine a light in the corners where hypocrisy hides. That's what Carlin did. He walked past the warning signs and waved at the people too scared to follow. He wasn't being rude, he was being real. The thing is, Carlin didn't want followers, he wanted thinkers. He wanted you to question, not quote him. He'd tear down ideas, then hand you the pieces and say, now build something better. That's what humor at its best does. It tears down false walls so you can see what's really there. It's not about destroying, it's about revealing. Comedy like Carlin's isn't the opposite of seriousness. It's the cure for taking nonsense seriously. People sometimes say, you shouldn't joke about serious things. But that's exactly what you should joke about, because serious things are the ones that need relief. When you can laugh at something heavy, it loses some of its power over you. That's not disrespect, that's survival. Carlin knew that. He wasn't mocking suffering, he was mocking the people and systems that pretend to fix it while making it worse. He was pointing at the emperor's new clothes and saying, nice outfit, Your Majesty, you planning to wear that lie all year? And maybe that's the biggest reason people still listen to him. Because even though the world hasn't gotten any less absurd, his words still make sense. He gave us permission to laugh at the chaos, not to ignore it, but to face it. Laughter doesn't erase the truth, it makes it bearable. It's the pressure valve that keeps the whole thing from exploding. At the end of the day, Carlin showed us that humor isn't just about making people laugh, it's about making them think. It's about freeing the mind from fear, one punchline at a time. Because once you can laugh at the absurdity of the world, it can't control you anymore. And maybe that's the closest thing to real freedom we've got.